We're heading off to my wife's favorite place in the world. We have here got an old Ducati Monster. We've arrived at the G80's favorite place, Costco gas line.
No Sprouts.
Sprouts for the snacks. What's Costco for?
The steak.
I like to put regular in the car just because it's a little cheaper. Check out the M Performance gas caps. I was just kidding. I don't get regular, obviously. We just put premium. One of the biggest challenges in life is trying to find a spot at Costco. Let me know in the comments if you bring your M car or BMW to Costco, if you take that risk. So we're driving back from the park where I take a lot of my car pictures, and there's a bunch of Hellcats doing some stupid shit. Probably gonna come back near sunset time and do a little shoot. This is the first shoot I've done since lowering the car on the Olin's coilovers. Most of the photos you guys see on my Instagram, I just take with the iPhone. They're not really planned shots. They're usually in a parking lot or in my garage. Sometimes I go out and I do an actual shoot with my camera setup, which is a pretty simple setup. I'll add that into this video, and then I'll show you a little bit of what I do to edit. Sorry, it's so bright out. I was saying that I'll show you guys what I do to edit the photos and kind of my style of photography. So here's my camera setup. It's a Sony a7 III, the Tamron lens. The lens is a 28 to 75 millimeter zoom with a 2.8 aperture. I really like this lens because it's pretty versatile in regards to the different zoom you get. I know having a fixed lens is beneficial in regards to the quality, but I don't want to be switching out different lenses for different shots. I feel like this is sufficient for what I do. I post on Instagram. I'm not by no means a professional photographer, so this really suits the needs. And then for video, I really don't use this camera. I prefer the iPhone just because the iPhone has stabilization and the camera, unless I get a gimbal for it, is not. I just don't want to invest in such an expensive setup when the iPhone, I believe, does what I need it to do, and it's sufficient for YouTube and Instagram. We're gonna head out to the park. It's close to sunset time. My wife is gonna help me shoot the M3. You can tell she's very excited. Stay tuned for some awesome shots. Time to shoot.
Okay.
So
All right, here we go. All
right, so this is the park by where we live, and I always come out here because we get great sunsets. So it's around sunset time now, waiting for the sun to get a little bit lower, and we'll take some cool shots and videos. We'll put them on Instagram and then also include some in this video.
What are we doing here?
We're here to shoot. I'll tell you a little bit about how I shoot. It's pretty straightforward. I shoot manual. I try and keep the ISO as low as possible depending on the lighting, and then aperture depending on, if I want more blurred background, I can go all the way down to 2.8, and then if I'm further away or I want to get more of the background, I increase that and then adjust ISO and aperture as needed, or fuck the shutter speed.
Okay, so wait, 50.
You got a car coming.
Oh shit. Okay.
You can pull over in the middle.
Oh, I'll see you guys later.
Okay. He's like, fuck it.
Couldn't help but notice those dope ass car taking pictures.
Thank you. Alright guys, check out this lighting right now. Unfortunately, the way the car's positioned with this great lighting, there's a bunch of stuff going on in the background, but I think this angle right now with the light coming through the interior and it's just highlighting the red on the seats. Looks pretty cool. Here, this angle gives you a great idea of the true color of this wrap, and the sun hitting the gold on the wheels just, I think, looks incredible. So I think I found the best angle in this lighting right now. Check this out. I think that looks mean. All right, so we just got done shooting the M3. I'll be posting some of the photos in this video. Most of them are gonna be on my Instagram, so please follow there. The next part of this video, I think I'm gonna show you guys how I edit. And like I said before, you guys can give me some tips, what you guys recommend, and then, yeah, I'll wrap it up after. This is the laptop I use to edit all my photos that I take with the Sony a7 III. This is an ancient mid-2012 MacBook Pro running Mac OS Catalina. It's probably a few-year-old software, I don't know, and I cannot update it because of how old this computer is. I think if I update it, it probably just won't turn on again. It's old, but it still has an SD slot, which is super convenient. So I'll walk you guys through what I usually do when editing my photos that I take with the Sony. So let's start with this one. This photo, when I took it, I thought it was gonna be a lot lighter. It ended up being very underexposed, as you can see here. So first thing I'm gonna do is increase the exposure. So right away, we can increase the exposure and see a huge difference. Taking a photo outside in the sun, wherever the direction of the sun is, I use this graduated filter, and I usually drag it from the side where the sun is, in this case from the left side of the photo. I usually drag this gradient across, and I increase the temperature to give it more of a warm look. And then I also increase the highlights. It kind of mimics a sunset. It gives an effect as if the sun is shining directly onto the car, and it's giving more of that warm look. So I'm gonna drag this further across just to get those warm tones further across the picture. Next thing I like to do is play with the tone curves. The goal usually is to get an S curve. So what I like to do first is mess with the shadows. As some of you probably already know, increasing the shadows gets the spots that are darker on the photo to brighten up. You are taking away the shadows when you raise them. So I'm gonna keep the shadows relatively close to what they were, just because the front of the picture is already dark. I'm going to increase the lights. As you can see, the reflective parts of the photo start to get a little brighter. I'm not gonna increase it too much. I think the front of the photo is a little bit too dark. There's too many shadows, so I'm gonna drag another graduated filter from the opposite side. This time I'm gonna increase the shadows. I'm not gonna mess with the temperature. So I'm gonna increase the shadows a little bit, not too much. The dark look in the front kind of gives it more of like a sinister vibe. So I'm gonna leave it as is. And I will make sure that the photo is straight. Tilt to the right a little bit. Honestly, I don't think this photo needs much. Here's the before, and then here's the after. Took in portrait orientation, fits the style or the format of Instagram. First thing I'm gonna do, just because the picture is so dark, increase the exposure, the graduated filter, and I'm gonna drag it across from where the sun is in this photo, and I'm gonna increase the temperature on the tone curves. I'm gonna decrease the shadows slightly, increase the darks, and then I'm gonna play with the highlights. I don't always know off the top of my head exactly what it's gonna look like before I'm pressing a slider or adjusting something. Lower the lights, lower the darks, lower the shadows. And I think that looks pretty good. If you take the photo with the correct settings, you shouldn't need to be editing too much in the photo. Let's see a before and after. All right, take number 20 of trying to wrap this video up. Thank you for following along on our fun trip to Costco. Hopefully the photography part of this video helps some of you out at home who like to edit your own photos. If you enjoyed this style of video where it was kind of a day in the life, let me know in the comments below. If you want me to keep it strictly G80 and car related, let me know as well. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you and see you in the next one.